Hi, guys. Welcome to Financial Freedom 100. What we're doing today is going over different opportunities for you to own your own business and for you to help the public, your community, and make a difference out there on many, many, many levels. Okay. Financial Freedom 100 is an educational training and business platform. You're going to learn, you're going to apply what you learn, and you're going to earn money, compensation. And I have right here, it says walk the walk. What does that mean? We're not people, I'm not someone that talks about something, and we do this on a daily basis. I'm a licensed real estate broker for many, many, many years, and we walk the walk, we talk the talk, we're swimming in the waters. I wouldn't ask you to do anything I haven't already done myself and will do with you on any day. Who is that masked man? Hey, who am I? Who's this person talking to you? What's my credentials? If you're going to work with me, you should know, who am I? My name's Todd Miranda. Grew up in Long Island, New York. Been working the boroughs for 30 something years. I first got my real estate license in 1988. Excuse me, I was 18 years old. I grew up the ranks, became the managing broker of my own firm, Todd Elliott Real Estate. I spend a lot of time these days. I get hired by large brokerages to train their agents. So I train seasoned agents, we train new agents, and we train the public on different opportunities within the real estate and related industries. I'm considered an industry leader. I was a director with the State Association. I served on multiple committees and boards throughout New York State and Long Island. I'm a carpenter by trade. Right out of high school, 17 years old, I was a carpenter. And then I built up my own little company. I started off doing sheetrock and built it into a nice little business. Had 40 guys when I was 19 years old. And I started flipping homes in Bushwick, Brooklyn in 1992. My first year, I flipped about 16, I flipped 16 properties. That's how I got started and really serious about real estate. And we're going to go over investing and flipping because we know, A, it's America's pastime, and who doesn't want to own a home? Who doesn't want to invest? Um, I am considered a business leader. I was nominated as a director with the National Small Business Chamber of Commerce, which I still hold that position, where we do a lot of events for the community, how to grow your business. All right, that's what we're looking at. There's another little thing that you can't see under here. Uh, One of my things that I'm passionate about. I'm an athlete. My whole life has been about sports. I grew up playing football, baseball, every sport you can imagine. And then I went into the Golden Gloves. I was a boxer. I won Silver Gloves 1987. Today, I spend a lot of my time on a sport that I believe is the most complete physical sport. Incredible eye-hand coordination, athleticism, again, very physical, and it's the only sport people play in today, 85, tennis. We'll get into that another day. Okay, let's move on. Let's do some training here. All right, the steps required to move forward. I think I made a little mistake here where I put this little bubble. I don't think I can move it right now. And uh, let's see, can I move it? I'm sorry, I'm messing around with it right now. I wish it would allow me to move it to the right hand corner because it's blocking some of. Oh, I did. There we go. Sorry, guys. I apologize. But I just want to get it where you could see a little better. Sorry about this. Okay, I think that is going to be good right there, guys, if you don't mind. I apologize. All right, so let's move on here, guys. So let me back up a second. I apologize. All right, so I went over myself. We're gonna train. When I say training, you have to learn the basics of what we're talking about. Now, we're gonna have some people who are just natural conversationalists. They could just talk to anybody. I'm one of those people too, so I get it. You just have a natural gift. How do we take that gift and apply it to this business model where you could turn it into compensation? What's that phrase? Your net work is your net worth. Well, many people have a good net work. They don't know how to turn into compensation. This is a great way to help people, as the name says, achieve financial freedom. Okay. We do a lot of that also. So training, what's also required is networking. It's not comprehensive training, by the way, as far as when I say it's comprehensive, but you don't have to take it comprehensively. You might just want to, hey, I'll come to a training here and there. I want to refer people and I want to get paid. Beautiful. You could do it at your leisure, whatever level of intensity or seriousness, that's up to you. All right. You want to network. You want to get yourself out there. Hey, listen, I talk to people if I go to Starbucks, I'm in the supermarket. I just talk to people. It's just a habit that I have. I enjoy people. I thoroughly enjoy meeting and talking to people and just creating conversations. So you want to network with people and talk to people. And if you don't really talk to people in the supermarket like I do, or Starbucks, you want to go to networking events. So networking events, you might want to go to what some of your local networking events. You can go on Eventbrite or Facebook. There's all these different event places. And if you don't have that capability, I'll help you set up your own networking group. Another level is to recruit. Let's say, for example, you're just very busy and you have a full time job, you got kids. Guess what? Go to your job, talk it up wherever you go, your family, friends, make money that way just by talking to it. You're sending the referral, you're getting paid, and you're just recruiting people and making overrides on them. That's also good. Plus, plus. Then, so train, network, recruit, and apply. Once you get a client, you might have a quick conversation with them. Whatever level of comfort that you're able to do is fine. Then you're gonna set them up with me typically, um, and I will talk to them. And I'm hoping you will sit for that meeting, whether it's on Zoom, Google Meet, or in person. It doesn't matter. You'll learn some of the lingo, some of the language, some of the qualifying techniques that we do um, with people, and just how the process goes. How does the home buyers, how does the sellers, mortgages, residential, commercial, investing, how to identify. I mean, it's unlimited almost. And then you earn money. So you get paid for your activity. Basically, Financial Freedom 100, you own your own business. All you need is a computer, laptop, phone. You work from your house. You could work from Hawaii, on vacation, wherever you are. You could work, and it's not really work. You're just talking to people, basically. If you wanted to take the next levels of learning, you might want to get licensed. Great. So you're owning your own business. The easiest way to make money is to recruit other people. They want to learn just like you do. We have 8 million people plus Long Island, 10 million people roughly in this general 30-mile radius. You're telling me you can't get 100 people to work with you? I find that hard to believe. We know that people, they're hungry for knowledge, they want to earn more money, and they want to learn something valuable. This has an implicit, tangible value. The cornerstone of America's economy is housing. So first time home buyers, that's my forte. I built my whole business on first time home buyers. Do you understand how special it is to help, let's say, for example, a single mom with two or three kids getting a home at 20,000 out of pocket is just extremely rewarding. Today they might have 300, 400, and more $1,000 in equity. That's what it's all about. And that's just a great joy to make that difference for people. And all licenses, excuse me, let me step back. You get paid just for creating leads and marketing. Excuse me if you hear my dog. I'm in my little office here. Anyway, you get paid for creating leads and marketing. There's other levels of income, which is licensing. Let's say, for example, let me give you an example. You meet someone at Starbucks or your friends, family, wherever it is. You create a lead. A lead is someone who's interested in the service. What is the service? They might want to learn, then they're going to be a recruit on your team. But let's say, for example, it's a buyer. You are going to come onto the call with me, you're going to learn. Now, what happens is that buyer, you get paid just for bringing a buyer in, but it's going to, at some point, once we qualify them, it's going to go to a licensed agent to handle the transactions. If you wanted to get licensing, you could be the agent that also handles that client. Now, let's say you have a team, 10, 20, 30, 40 people. They're creating leads. You, as the licensee, can handle this licensed activity, which is typically showing homes and walking through the inspections, the whole process, A to Z, to the closing. This is what it is. So all licenses includes real estate, mortgages, um, investing in real estate. You don't need a license to invest in real estate, but certainly New York State is now 77 hours. It was 75 hours as a director. I voted also for the extra 2 hours of education. Sorry, but it's required. I mean, this is important stuff here. Realtors are the gateway to housing in this country. Mortgages, we could certify you for mortgages. You might want to take the next step and become a licensed mortgage loan originator. All good, plus, 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 will license all 50, I think it's 51 states for mortgages. All right. Who is our target audience? I think our target audience is everybody. Let's just say between Starbucks to supermarket, you go to a networking event, and in your daily life, you meet 100 people. Let's just say you meet 100 people on a month. Let's just use that. 100 people a month that you're meeting and having a conversation with on some level. Okay. 10% of those people want to buy a home. So out of 100 people, 10% want to buy a home. Other people might want to too, but they just don't want to at that time. I'm just giving you some numbers. It's probably higher than 10%, but the actual people who might be serious and ready are probably around 10%. And then we got to pre-qualify them and go through that whole process as well. But 100 random people, 10 people want to buy a home, one person is selling a home. So yeah, there is 10 buyers for every one seller. That's about right. Then you have 25% of the people you meet who have life issues, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, divorce, job, or they just don't have the time right now. These things happen. That's okay. Then you're going to have 75% of the people who are recruits. That means, why do I say 75? Because your home buyers, your sellers, and everyone else, they want to learn and grow their income too. I'm saying 75% because out of the 100 people, even the people who buy and sell a home with you, excuse me, they want to also own their own business and learn and increase their income and their knowledge. Um, Out of 100 people, 75% of the people will be recruitable. They want to grow, earn, learn, just like you, me, and everyone else in the planet. We all have a yearning for knowledge, a yearning for more income, frankly, a necessity for more income. Listen, guys, I want to tell you something. I've been a student of this life. I've been a student of the real estate industry. We are in a crisis in this country and in the world. There are a lot of issues and trigger points. You need to, we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, frankly, in reality. We, but we have to plan for tomorrow. How do you do that? Take today, learn, start earning money. I believe you're going to have to grow your own food and own a piece of property for self preservation. Everyone should own property. I would like to put together, I guess, a cooperative where people can, anyone that works with us within financial freedom would have access and capability to do that on it pretty easily. Okay, so recruiting people is a big part of the business. Why? Because they're working when you're not. Let's say you recruited 100 people. Okay, they're going to be doing transactions, bringing in deals, and you're going to be doing whatever else you're doing. Whether you're on vacation, you're still making money. You get the picture? All right. Basically, financial freedom is a comprehensive training. You own a franchise with support and training. Again, just want to be clear here. Real estate brokerage is inclusive of buyers, sellers, renters, and commercial, any type of real estate transaction. A real estate transactions requires a license. If you're assisting someone in those services, you need to have a license. I'm a licensed broker. I supervise agents. You can get licensed. You're not required to get licensed to get paid. Here, you're going to be paid here for marketing if you're not licensed. Mortgage lending. So the comprehensive training is real estate brokerage, mortgage lending, real estate investing, flipping. I have flipped well over 400 properties and working on a few transactions now. This is a great fun space to be in. And you should too. And you should learn how do you package deals. I want to start really getting people into identifying lots to build. Okay, real estate, mortgages, investing, credit. Credit's important. This is part of the business model, actually. These items are part of the business model. And the last thing is insurance. Right now we have life insurance and financial services. I want to add property and casualty insurance. I'm hoping to add that in the second quarter, if not the third quarter of 2025. All right, so the training model introduction that I just want to go over a little bit right here on this little training video today is a little bit about real estate buyers. How do you start a conversation? Because this is going to be your most common conversation. Everyone wants to buy and own a home, so how do you start that conversation? The first thing, you meet someone at Starbucks. Hey, do you own a home? Oh, well, listen, it's a great time to buy a home and/or, one of the things that I always tell people, and this is true, you're either owning. There's two types of people: owners and tenants. You can't build equity renting. It's very difficult to build any real savings or equity even working. You have to own real estate. So you start the conversation. Do you own a home? Would you like to own a home? Do you want to learn about flipping, investing, all that type of stuff? So they tell you yes. So that's the conversation starter. Okay, fantastic. Well, we have a first-time homebuyers program. How is your income and credit? That's how you're going to start off a conversation with people. You need to remember not FBI, CIA. See it? CIA. What does that stand for? Anybody? Credit, income, and assets. That's what we need to know when people are looking to purchase a home, even if they're looking to rent. And by the way, if someone wants to rent, that's not your best time spent. I hate to say that. I've been dealing and helping renters for 30 something years. It's just a tough space right now to find apartments. I'm not saying we're not going to help them at all. What I am saying is I want you to focus in on the other things, which is buyers and sellers and investing. So when you're talking to someone, the first thing, how's your credit score? Okay. What's your income and assets? So with credit, The main thing we're looking for, I'd like to see generally 640 credit score. If they're at 610, don't throw them in the garbage. Let's put them in our credit program where you get paid for, by the way, and we'll get them up to par and ready to buy a home. Okay? Um, 640 is the minimum. Now, if they're going, let's just, 640 is typically FHA, first time home buyer. Um, if, for example, they are high income earners, let's say for example, you have someone you have a husband and wife who are both New York City Transit. Let's say for example, they're making probably 240 a year. Pretty good income. That's very good household income. They might be able to do what's called a conventional loan. A conventional loan, you're going to look for a little better credit, typically 680 plus, and but they're going to put down a little bit higher down payment. We'll get into that in a minute. So basically, with the credit, I'd like to see 640 credit. If someone's 590, 580 in the fives, low sixes, send them to our credit repair program where you get paid, you get compensated, and we'll get them ready to buy a home where you get paid again. So 640, we'd like to see when we look for credit, if you get into the credit with them, if they don't know the credit, what can you ask them? Hey, do you have any trade lines open? What is a trade line? A car, credit card. Let's say they went, for example, to Best Buy or Bob's Furniture. And they have a credit card through them. That's a trade line. We want to see two trade lines. Typically, we want to see it for 2 years as well. They could add an authorized user to help build their credit. They could get a secured credit card. Obviously, they want to keep low balances. That's how you have a good credit score. And naturally, you want to be paid on time. Okay? So that's a little snapshot of credit. We'll dig in more details as you go, as we go together, as you go in this journey. But this is basically what you need to know right now. So we went over the CIA, we went over credit, that's the C. The I is for income. A lot of people, you ask them, what do you do for work? Okay, I work for Con Edison. Okay, I make 100,000. It's important to understand how long they've been on the job. Most banking industry requirements to buy a home, we'd like to see 2 years on the job or in the same line of industry. That's not set in stone. We're looking at everything. We're putting the picture together. So all these things are part of the puzzle, but we have to make sure they're working because we want to make sure the mortgage gets paid naturally. So the questions are, I'll give you another example. Someone calls you, yeah, I make 100,000. You're going to get this a lot. I make 100,000. What do you do for work? Well, I just started a job. I'm making 60. It's off the books, or I do have 3 different jobs. So then you got to dig in how long you've been on each job. And as it turns out, here's the question. What did you report on your tax returns last year? If they only reported $30,000 and they're at 100, they might not be making 100, or it might not be considered consistent income for underwriting purposes. So you got to dig in. What do you do for work? How long you been on the job? If it's 2 different jobs, are they on the same line of work? And what is their previous tax returns for the past 2 years? So that's the income, the I. What's the A? The A is assets. Okay, when someone's buying a home, I always say if someone's buying a home, I'd like to see on average 10% total out-of-pocket expenses. Total out-of-pocket expenses includes down payment and closing cost. Okay, so down payment and closing cost. Okay, so those are total what you're going to need. So down payment, FHA, as we spoke a little bit before, you're looking at 3.5% is very, very common. VA, by the way, if they're a veteran and they have their DoD forms, they could verify it, they would qualify for 0% down payment. It's 100% down payment. They would need to come up with about a point and a half, 1.5% for closing costs only. Okay, so FHA again, that's a government insured mortgage for first time homebuyers, as little as 3.5%. Then for higher end buyers with higher income and higher credit, they might go conventional because they got a bigger down payment. What's the advantage of going conventional? Well, with FHA, first time home buyer 3.5%, you pay what's called PMI, that's private mortgage insurance, and that's about let's say $400 or $500 a month, depending upon the purchase price of the home. Conventional does not pay that, but you have to have a bigger down payment, and you're going to get a very good interest rate as well. So you got to have a bigger down payment and good credit, 680 plus for conventional. Your closing costs when you buy a home, your closing costs, we'll go over them in detail next time. Let me give you an example. You go buy a hat, you go to the cash register, you pay what's called sales tax in New York, what is it, 8.25%. You pay a one-time fee. That's closing costs. When you buy a house, there's a one-time fee at the cash register, the closing, 6%. Oh, and that money, that's gone. Although some of that closing costs are tax deductible. By the way, guys, on a side note, another advantage of owning a home is tax deductions. A home is the biggest deduction people have on their tax returns. Let me give you an example. You have a husband and a wife. I told you about them before. Let's say they make $80,000 each, $160,000. They work for New York City Transit. They're probably paying each about $25,000 a year in taxes out of every paycheck for the year combined. So $50,000, they're paying $1,000 a month, $1,000 a month, a week. Excuse me, $1,000 a week in taxes. You don't get that money back unless you own a home. That's the biggest deduction that people have. So now, for example, if you had a house for a year, you bring your mortgage statement to your CPA or tax preparer, and let's say you paid $36,000 in mortgage mortgage interest. That's all tax deductible. You're going to get back $12,000 on your tax returns. It's a massive deduction. It's equal to 8, 10, 12, even 14,000 a year in real money on your tax returns. $1,000 a month could be in many cases. All right, so the assets also, where do people get money when so typically when we're asking people for the information, we're going to ask them to start getting documents together. They're going to collect 2, 2, and 2. 2 years tax returns, 2 months bank statements, 2 recent pay stubs. And when we look at assets, they're going to typically have money in their savings. They'll have a pension, 401k, a 403b. These are ways for people, very common for people to go into their pension, 401k, or annuity, whatever, and it's called a hardship loan for a first-time home buyer. They take money out of there and they buy a home. Great. Very common, and that's how most people buy a home. You are also allowed to get a gift from a family member for down payment. As long as we can account for it, it's ledgered, it's seasoned, meaning it's in someone's bank account, it's in your bank account or it's in their bank account for 2 months, and we could season that with bank statements, you're good. Different levels of compensation. So we're going to wrap this up. Let's go over a little bit about just quickly. I'm just trying to give you a general idea here, because I could go for hours on all these different subjects. We're not going to do that. We have to have some level of semblance here. So direct marketing. This is just talking to the public. You're going to get paid 25% of the transaction. And we'll go over this, really go more into depth in that, and we shall in future training videos. Overrides. This is when you're recruiting people. So you got 10, 20, 30 people bringing in deals every month. You're getting 10% override on everything for doing nothing, just recruiting them. Licensing. Let's say the direct marketing, which is a lead, brings in a transaction. The transaction goes to the licensee, okay, and the licensee gets paid 50% of that. You can be the licensee for that as well. You could be the marketer and the licensee. So on a $10,000, $15,000 transaction, do the math. All right, that's kind of what we're looking at right there. Um, this is my contact information. My name's Todd Miranda. My cell phone, 516-710-3374. Send me a text message. That'd be wonderful. My email is todd@toddelliott.com. 1L, 2T's. It's the uncommon way of spelling it. todd@toddelliott.com. Listen, create value, create revenue, income for yourself, create knowledge, be a leader. Let's have some fun. And as always, I see you at the closing, guys.